So I tried to record this on the way home from work, but it was too hot in the car. My phone overheated and turned off on me. I think I'm just going to start over. There's probably like a half-saved draft of like a minute and a half, but like, it doesn't matter. I met a seer today. I guess that's the word I would use. I don't remember her exact words, but she experienced prophetic dreaming. And that's like what I associate with seers. You know, they gaze into objects, they scry, they see the future, they see the past. They see now moments. They dream. Maybe there's a more specific word that I just don't know. I'm not sure. But she really saw me. And she's the third one to really see me like that. You know, I can count on one hand the number of times somebody has walked into the room or walked into my life and just immediately understood who I am and what I do. To understand what it is to be a catalyst, an earth angel, to recognize yourself in someone else. And that's what it was, that divine spark, that recognition, like, oh, you're like me. And the first time it happened, it was just a random woman at Starbucks who was homeless for all I know. She might have been. Maybe she wasn't. I don't know. But she just started talking to me about everything. And I was still scared to be seen at that point. But that was my first moment where I had the conversation out loud with someone else like me in front of other people that don't understand. And I think that was a test back then, and I did it. Even though I was around somebody very dangerous, I think, at the time. A dangerous person that I worked with who didn't understand me. And that entire situation, I wasn't sure I was going to make it out of there alive. For multiple reasons, but that was a factor. And then this lady comes in. That happens. And we just start talking about it. Purpose. Near-death experiences. Being pulled back from the brink. Finding your light in the darkness. And it was so early that I didn't really understand everything myself. I was still figuring out a lot. But then the next time that happened was at the hospital at NIH on the second loop. Because, you know, it's almost like for every loop, every spiral, every ascension, there was another occurrence like this. So we had Rizzo, round 2 at the hospital, who took one look at my name on a piece of paper and understood me and what I am and what I do. And I affected her just by being there. And the first lady said that there was something she was here to see, to bear witness. And crossing my path was part of it. That part's inferred. But she talked a lot about discernment. And then with Rizzo, it was divine timing and passive change in others. Not being able to predict just how your very presence somewhere can affect someone. And then today, she was trying to tell a girl that I was working with about having pride in her ancestry. And the girl didn't really identify with her words. She was trying to impart this wisdom, this ancestral power and grace to this girl who she didn't not want to claim it, but I don't think she thought that much about it. And I think that's a seed that she planted, that girl's going to be thinking about for a long time after this. I watched her plant a seed in this girl on her last day of working with me. It was the first time I met her and the last time, pretty much. There might have been a 2-second hello before that. But I watched her plant a seed. And then when the girl was on break, she came back up to me and we started talking. And it was just that immediate understanding. And suddenly we're talking about my near-death experience and getting pulled back from the brink. She wanted to know about what stopped me from killing myself. And at first, I wanted to tell her about twin flames and all of that. But I didn't. What I said to her was, have you ever just had somebody come in at exactly the right time? Because that's the truth of it, right? Spirit orchestrated the situation so that he would be there at exactly the right time to stop me, without even knowing that's what he was doing. That's what really happened. Outside of all the feelings and the telepathic connection and all the back and forth, that's what happened. And she said to me that it's not about religion, it's about spirituality. And we don't know when we're entertaining angels. Then we talked about becoming angels. That both of us were in the process of becoming. That moment is what started everything. You know, I had my own build-up before that. I had a bunch of other experiences throughout the entirety of my life that led up to everything that is now. But if we're talking about my growth and my healing, that's when it really started. And I think for the first time, I didn't attribute everything that's happened to the twin flame journey. I didn't give the fact that I'm still breathing to him. I've recognized before that it was Spirit that saved me. But part of me intertwined that story with him so thoroughly. And she's told me sometimes people enter our lives for a season, and sometimes people enter our lives for a reason. And I loved that. You know that little rhyme? Her name was Glenda, by the way. Beautiful soul that I'm glad I met. And these little moments confirmed to me that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. You know, somebody today at work told me that they were lucky to have me. I feel like I'm being recognized here.